You're a summoner? That's the weakest class in the world. The moment Lin Xiao awakened his class, everyone laughed at him. His rival called him trash. No team wanted him. No one believed he could clear a dungeon. Even a normal combat class was considered better than becoming a summoner. But they had no idea. Lin Xiao had awakened a unique S-tier talent. A talent so powerful that nobody else in the world could ever obtain it. Every single day, he gains a brand new S-rank talent. His first summon was just a tiny skeleton. Weak, pathetic, worthless. But after receiving an S-rank talent, it evolved into a terrifying Death Knight. A monster capable of slaughtering entire armies. Then his slime gained the power of endless evolution through devouring. His goblin became a master of legendary weapons. And that was only the beginning. While other people struggled to make one summon stronger, Lin Xiao gave countless S-rank talents to all of his summons. Every day they evolved. Every day they grew stronger. Every day they became more terrifying. Geniuses? Prodigies? Heroes? None of them could even defeat his weakest summon. Then the abyss descended upon the world. Demon gods appeared. Ancient monsters awakened. Even the gods themselves looked down upon humanity. But when humanity stood on the edge of extinction, one man stepped forward. Behind him stood an army powerful enough to shake heaven and earth. An army of death knights, ancient beasts, divine creatures, and beings powerful enough to rival gods. The world finally realized one terrifying truth. The strongest army was never an army. The strongest kingdom was never a kingdom. It was one summoner, and his summons. This is the story of Lin Xiao, the summoner who turned the weakest class into the strongest existence in the world. Week 1 8-hour video will be uploaded. All novels uploaded here are completed, so you will get a full story without searching or waiting. I have listened to the translated version on web, and there are no major problems with translation. If you want Chinese novel translated, give me the original name of the novel and I will respond to your request as soon as possible. Please make sure your request is on the latest video. If you hear this "u" sound in the novel, it means either question mark or some space is left, like getting materials or experience gained there more but not shown. If after a name is used and after there is silence, it means exclamation marks were used as in shock. I don't know if this will happen in recorded one, but it happened in web version. Chapter 226. The Ice and Snow Queen was shrouded in ice mist, making it impossible to see her true face. But her ice throne was even more terrifying, shaking one's soul to its core. The base of the throne was constructed from the heads of 4 ice dragons. Each head was as large as a boulder, their empty eyes seeming to contain endless chilling power, with cold, sharp fangs exposed. The bodies of the ice dragons wound their way up the throne, the scales on their bodies lifelike, shimmering with a sharp light under the deep blue glow, as if they might take flight at any moment and let out a heaven-shaking roar. The entire throne was forged from the bodies of 4 ice dragons, exuding an innate aura of dominance. And the Ice and Snow Queen sat high upon this throne, her posture upright, radiating a chilling aura that blended perfectly with the throne. Even without seeing her face, one could still feel her gaze, indifferent as she looked down upon everything below. It was as if all things in the world were under her control, inspiring awe. Anyone looking up at her would feel their own insignificance and triviality under this powerful pressure. Lin Xiao read the information of the Ice and Snow Queen. Ice and Snow Queen. Level 65. Equality. Epic.
Et constitution, 1.2 million.
Strength. 120,000. Intelligence. 250,000. Agility. 1,000. Mana. 1 million. Spirit. 1,200. Talent. Divine Descent of Frost. S rank. Blessing of the Ice God, S. Affinity for ice, A. Weapon. Scepter of the Ice and Snow Queen. Skills. Hell Ice Storm of Frozen Void. Ice Waterfall Divine Art. Crystal of Ice. Ice Storm. 2 Ice-type Forbidden Curses. And Lin Xiao looked at the Ice and Snow Queen's talents. The Divine Descent of Frost. Casting time for Ice-type Forbidden Curses is halved. Power increased by 20%. That is the Ice and Snow Queen. She is truly extraordinary. A trace of solemnity appeared on Long Zhe's face. Seeing the Ice and Snow Queen before him, he couldn't help but gasp. Just by meeting her, he could feel the opponent's power. How domineering, how majestic. Her throne is actually forged from ice dragons. Chao Xingxiu couldn't help but exclaim in shock. They had cleared the ice dragon's lair a dungeon and knew the power of the ice dragons. But he hadn't expected the Ice and Snow Queen to not only slaughter the ice dragons but also use them to forge her own throne. Even more terrifying was that it wasn't just 1 ice dragon, but 4 in total. Suddenly, everyone felt their bodies go cold as a gaze fell upon them. Death or submission? The majestic voice of the Ice and Snow Queen echoed. It's here, Long Zhe shouted, and everyone entered combat mode. Roar! A roar that pierced through the clouds suddenly exploded, like rolling thunder crashing down from the 9 heavens, making one's eardrums ache. The entire firmament trembled under this dragon's roar. Chao Xingxiu's expression changed drastically. Ice dragon! Impossible! How could an ice dragon appear here? Feng Ping was also unsettled. He thought they were only dealing with the Ice and Snow Queen, but he hadn't expected there to be an ice dragon here as well. In an instant, a bone-chilling cold surged toward them, as if it wanted to freeze every trace of life in the world. A massive, peerless ice dragon, carrying 10,000 tons of cold air, flew from behind the towering throne. Wherever it passed, the air instantly condensed into sharp ice crystals, shooting out in all directions like hidden weapons. The ice dragon hovered before them, its entire body radiating a blinding cold light. Its scales were like polished giant ice mirrors, tightly connected, refracting a bone-chilling light. Its massive dragon body wound and coiled, like a floating iceberg, every inch displaying unparalleled power. Its eyes were like 2 clusters of deep blue ghost fire, coldly and mercilessly looking down at the people below, the majesty and pressure contained within making them nearly suffocate. Its massive dragon wings slowly unfurled, reaching 100 zhang in length. The wing surfaces were covered with mysterious and complex ice patterns, and with a gentle flap, a hurricane carrying a snowstorm roared into existence. Lin Xiao noticed shackles hanging on the ice dragon's neck. It had been enslaved. This is the Ice Dragon King. It has been enslaved, Lin Xiao said quickly. The Ice Dragon King? So the boss we encountered in the Ice Dragon's lair was just an ordinary ice dragon. Chao Xingxiu was shocked. You have the fucking leisure time to discuss this? This big reptile is coming. Ling Xiaoqin cursed angrily. The Ice Dragon King raised its head covered with sharp ice spikes, its whole body exuding a bone-chilling murderous aura. It suddenly opened its bloody maw, and the biting cold air surged out like a tide, carrying countless tiny, sharp ice shards. Dragon breath. But in the eyes of Long Zhe and the others, this was a death sigh. Wherever it reached, the air froze into thick, icy crystal mist. Guardian! Chao Xingxiu dared not be the slightest bit negligent. He stood at the front alone, his shield lit up, and a layer of light shield instantly expanded to block this terrifying cold air. The moment he touched the cold air, Chao Xingxiu felt his hand instantly freeze. It was a bone-piercing cold. Then he noticed his rapidly dropping HP and cursed it out loud. What the hell? Why is the damage of this breath so high? Quick, think of a way. I can't hold it alone. Chu Choyue, Xin Lu, and Chan Shouyang, the three healers, immediately began healing and protecting Chao Xingxiu. It's not working. This damage is too high. Chao Xingxiu saw his HP jumping up and down, and he panicked. The area under the Ice Dragon King's feet is a blind spot. Hurry and hide there. Lin Xiao had spotted the only blind spot for the breath. Acceleration. Death Walk. Xin Lu and Chu Choyue cast movement speed buffs on the group. Hurry over. Without a moment's pause, everyone quickly hid under the Ice Dragon King's feet. Although it was dangerous here, facing the Ice Dragon King's breath was even more dangerous. This damage is too ridiculous. The Ice Dragon breath in the Ice Dragon's Lair dungeon. I could stand in that and take a bath, but here I was almost one-shot. Chao Xingxiu said with lingering fear. He was a guardian class with high defense and high HP, yet he couldn't block the Ice Dragon King's breath. If you suck, practice more. Don't whine here. Ling Xiaoqin retorted directly, raised the great sword in her hand, and slashed fiercely at the Ice Dragon King's large foot. Clang! A violent collision splashed up a large amount of ice shards. Tisk! It's fucking tough. The Ice Dragon King, with its eyes like cold, abyssal pools, looked down at the people below, and its giant claw, possessing world-destroying power, stomped down fiercely toward those hiding beneath it. Berserk! Rage burst! Ling Xiaoqin shouted angrily, and the blood energy bursting from her entire body actually slowed the descent of the giant claw. Feng Ping and Zhao the monk seized the opportunity and immediately launched an attack. The array ghost was quickly released, and the ghost shadow instant slash was unleashed rapidly. A brilliant blue light erupted from Zhao the monk's fist, and he threw a powerful punch accompanied by a roar. Chapter 227. Bang! This punch seemed to shatter even the space itself, causing the Ice Dragon King to lose its balance and tip backward. At this moment, Xin Lu raised her staff high. In an instant, the crisp and rhythmic ticking of a clock, like lively musical notes, echoed leisurely in everyone's ears. Then, they heard her whisper, "Bullet time." As this whisper fell, a power of time instantly spread out. Lin Xiao felt as if the flow of time around him had been forcibly pressed into slow motion by an invisible hand, becoming extremely sluggish. The Ice Dragon King, which had been tipping backward, now seemed frozen in midair. Hurry up and attack. It can only last for 10 seconds. Xin Lu quickly reminded everyone. Death rites. Chu Choyue let out a sharp cry, her staff trembling violently, and a chilling aura of death surged forth like a turbulent black tide. A giant gray skull slowly emerged above the Ice Dragon King's head, its hollow eye sockets flickering with eerie green ghostly fire. Long Zay's eyes burned with intense fighting spirit, and the power within him erupted like a volcanic explosion. Flame Dragon Possession. His body was enveloped in raging crimson flames, like a god of war. He leaped high into the air, his legs as hard as steel, and kicked fiercely toward the Ice Dragon King, wreathed in flames. Due to the strange effect of bullet time, the Ice Dragon King was seemingly frozen in this instant, unable to react in the slightest. But Long Zhe did not slacken for a moment. Taking advantage of this perfect opportunity, his fists rained down upon the Ice Dragon King like a storm, each punch carrying rolling heat waves, making the air crackle with a pop. Ha! Demonic blood damage. Lin Xiao shouted loudly. The blood and energy in her body surged, and a massive amount of blood aura, like a red dragon, emerged from within her, gathering above her head into a blood orb that emitted an eerie glow. The appearance of the blood orb seemed to trigger the blood energy within the Ice Dragon King, which flowed continuously toward the orb, causing it to grow larger and its light to become even more dazzling. Yan Anning looked solemn, raising her staff high with both hands and chanting. In an instant, the space around her seemed to tear apart, revealing a brilliant starry sky behind her. The stars in the sky twinkled, dreamlike and surreal. However, this beautiful starry sky collapsed in an instant, creating terrifying energy ripples that swept toward the Ice Dragon King like a raging tsunami, distorting the space wherever it passed. At the same time, several arrows flew in like meteors, their shafts etched with flickering runes. Carrying the power of cataclysmic explosions, they emitted a series of deafening roars, shattering the Ice Dragon King's hard armor, with fragments scattering like snowflakes. Seeing this, Yi Xiaogu's eyes flashed with a sharp light. She instantly transformed into a streak of silver, darting to the Ice Dragon King's side like a phantom. Her blade glinted with a cold light as she slashed mercilessly at the Ice Dragon King's weak point without hesitation. Lin Xiao directly summoned the nine-tailed celestial fox. The nine-tailed celestial fox let out a clear cry toward the sky, its 9 tails dancing in the air like lively ribbons, flinging out streaks of fox fire. Then Lin Xiao summoned the slime. A complex forbidden curse array gathered in the sky, with terrifying fire elements churning and surging, the intense heat distorting the surrounding air. Subsequently, a plain, unremarkable flame slowly descended from the array. Boom! In the next second, intense flames rose up like an angry fire dragon, instantly engulfing the Ice Dragon King completely. Fire soared into the sky, heat waves rolled, and the entire battlefield was shrouded in this terrifying fire. Such a shocking move caused everyone present to turn their gaze toward Lin Xiao, their eyes filled with surprise. Because the move the slime used was a fire-type forbidden curse, and it had previously used a healing-type forbidden curse. To be able to use 2 different types of forbidden curses was simply incredible. Hee hee. The gray skull hanging high above the Ice Dragon King's head let out a hair-raising, eerie laugh. Immediately after, without any warning, the skull exploded, and the damage accumulated just moments ago slammed into the Ice Dragon King once again. As bullet time ended, the ice armor on the Ice Dragon King suddenly shattered, as if struck by some powerful force. The Ice Dragon King let out a deafening wail and crashed to the ground, kicking up a spray of ice shards and dust. Chen Qiuyang gripped the elements tightly in his right hand, a long spear forming in his palm, which he then threw with great force. Spear of Victory! The elemental spear pierced through the Ice Dragon King's body, pinning it to the ground. Don't give it a chance, Chen Qiuyang shouted at the top of his lungs. They had assumed the boss of this battle was only the Ice and Snow Queen. Who could have foreseen that such a terrifyingly powerful Ice Dragon King would appear halfway through? If this Ice Dragon King were to join forces with the Ice and Snow Queen, it would surely be a catastrophe for them. For now, the only option was to eliminate the Ice Dragon King as quickly as possible. Seeing the Ice Dragon King immobilized and unable to move, a flash of surprise crossed Lin Xiaoqin's eyes, followed by a loud shout, "Well done!" She raised her great sword high, pointing it toward the firmament, the blood aura around her body boiling. In an instant, the large blood orb in the sky, saturated with the Ice Dragon King's blood, began to rotate slowly. Like a falling crimson meteor, it descended toward the Ice Dragon King, precisely swallowing it whole. Immediately after, an incredibly thick pillar of blood shot into the sky. Within the pillar, it seemed as if countless vengeful spirits were roaring and struggling. The Ice Dragon King's body was faintly visible within the blood pillar. Its scales began to peel off one by one, and dragon blood rained down from the pillar. Roar! The Ice Dragon King let out a heart-wrenching scream, its once majestic body now riddled with holes. Time shift. Xinlu raised her staff, a small time clock hanging on the left side of everyone's chest. She then explained, "After using bullet time, speed decreases significantly, but I have shifted the negative effects to a later time, so everyone doesn't need to worry." "How long can it last?" Lin Xiao asked. "Half an hour. That's enough," Xinlu said. Lin Xiao shook his head. "Half an hour might not be enough to end the battle. If we are affected when we face the Ice and Snow Queen later, it will be troublesome." Slime. The slime radiated a mysterious and holy aura, its eyes flickering with a lively light. A forbidden curse array emitting a soft, pure white light was outlined in the sky. Light type forbidden curse, Archangel's purification. The negative status has been purified. For the next 10 minutes, even if you use skills with negative effects, they will all be purified. Lin Xiao explained. At this moment, seeing everyone looking at him, he couldn't help but feel curious. "Why are you looking at me? Keep attacking." At this moment, Yan Anning couldn't help but speak up, asking, "Are all of your slime's magic spells forbidden curses?" Chapter 228. I've been writing 3 chapters a day for the past half-month. Taking a day off, looking at the gazes of the crowd, Lin Xiao nodded and admitted directly, "Is that strange?" Everyone was stunned. "Isn't it strange? This is a forbidden curse. You can only learn it after level 60, yet your level 30-something summoned beast can cast a forbidden curse, and that's not strange? Moreover, the summoned beast is a slime. That's not just strange, it's ridiculous." Roar! The Ice Dragon King roared. The icy scales on its body, resembling damaged armor, peeled off and scattered across the ground. The recent attack had inflicted heavy damage, a humiliation it had never experienced before. Its deep eyes burned with fury, seemingly intent on incinerating everything before it. Its massive wings suddenly flapped. Where the wingspan reached, snow and wind howled, and the surrounding air was instantly churned into chaos. Using this force, the Ice Dragon King shot straight into the air like a bolt of black lightning. The Ice Dragon King circled high above. Every time it flapped its wings, it was accompanied by a biting cold wind. Countless ice cones condensed around its body, like sharp arrows shot by the god of death, flying down overwhelmingly with sharp whistles, leaving behind chilling traces wherever they passed, as if the air itself was frozen. The Ice Dragon King's sudden movement left everyone no time to investigate the special circumstances of Lin Xiao's slime. Chao Xingxiu raised the shield in his hand again. His figure seemed much taller as he blocked all the ice cones flying down. "The Ice Dragon King is heavily injured. Quickly finish it off," shouted Chao Xingxiu. "But it's high in the sky." Just as Xiao the monk spoke, they saw stars lighting up in the sky. The stars shone dazzlingly, glittering with cold radiance, before smashing towards the Ice Dragon King. It was Yan Anning's star magic. So what if it's in the sky? Does flying up there mean we can't do anything about it? Wu Hanyang laughed, rapidly waving his hands. Countless meteor arrows shot out from his hands like silver lightning, tearing through the sky and speeding toward the Ice Dragon King with sharp momentum. Just as the meteors and arrows were about to hit the Ice Dragon King, a storm blew up. The falling stars were deflected, and the incoming arrows were swept into the air like falling leaves, snapping completely. This sudden action immediately caught the attention of Lin Xiao and the others. It's the Ice and Snow Queen. She's made her move. This news was undoubtedly disastrous for Long Zhe and the others. The Ice Dragon King was already incredibly powerful, and with the addition of the unfathomable Ice and Snow Queen, their situation would become even more precarious. Roar! My queen! Please give me another chance. I will definitely eliminate these invaders before me. The Ice Dragon King's voice carried a hint of pleading. Without waiting for the Ice and Snow Queen's reply, the Ice Dragon King suddenly turned its head, its vertical pupils flashing with bloodthirsty light as it glared fiercely at Long Zhe and the others. In an instant, blinding azure light erupted from the Ice Dragon King's body, the glow resembling the flower of death blooming in the extreme cold abyss. Immediately after, it vigorously flapped its wings, generating roaring winds. The moisture in the air rapidly condensed, and two colossal, sky-obscuring ice tornadoes rose from the ground, resembling two ferocious ice dragons, letting out deafening howls as they spun wildly and swept toward Long Zhe and the others. Be careful. The Ice Dragon King is about to use a big move. Feng Ping roared loudly, straining his voice. Chao Xingxiu quickly put his ultimate shield technique at the very front. In this situation, he absolutely could not back down. I can only block for a moment. You must kill the Ice Dragon King within the limited time. Otherwise, I'll have to die right here in front of you. As he finished speaking, Chao Xingxiu couldn't help but joke. Oh son, please use your radiance to protect us, grant us courage and blessings, and help us slay the wicked enemy before us. Chun Chuyang slowly raised his right hand. A golden sun bloomed in his hand and was then lifted into the sky. The dazzling radiance shone upon everyone, and they instantly felt their bodies filled with power. Holy crap! Damn it! This buff is way too ridiculous. An 80% boost. Ling Xiaoqin glanced at her stats and let out a surprised cry. Everyone was shocked by Chun Chuyang's powerful buff skill. An 80% increase was truly outrageous. Chun Chuyang offered no further explanation, simply stating, "The sun only lasts for 30 seconds. I hope you can make good use of this brief time to kill the Ice Dragon King. If the Ice and Snow Queen makes a move, ignore her. I will temporarily hold her off to buy you time for the kill." The calm words gave everyone ample confidence. Go! Long Zhe wasted no time and immediately charged toward the ice dragon in the sky. Yan Anning waved her hand lightly, and a star road was paved in the sky. Everyone stepped onto it, with Ling Xiaoqin rushing the fastest. In the blink of an eye, she arrived before the Ice Dragon King. But what greeted her was the Ice Dragon King's breath. Death breath freezes all things and extinguishes everything. Fight to the death. Death resistance. Immunity plus health lock. This allowed Ling Xiaoqin to fearlessly slash her great sword fiercely down toward the Ice Dragon King's head. Ice shards scattered everywhere. The powerful recoil forced Lin Xiao back dozens of steps, leaving her arm numb. Damn, you're so hard. Are you a dragon or a turtle? Lin Xiao did not retreat. Instead, she attacked the Ice Dragon King with even fiercer force. At this moment, Long Zhe charged out from the side. With the fire dragon possession, his entire body ablaze with flames, he kicked directly, shattering the dragon scales on the Ice Dragon King's body and exposing the flesh beneath. With one sword strike, the Ice Dragon King bled again and let out a mournful cry. At this time, Feng Ping and Zhao the monk also charged up to the Ice Dragon King, unleashing their powerful attacks and forcibly blasting the Ice Dragon King down from high altitude. Annihilating Meteor Arrow. Wu Hanyang aimed at the Ice Dragon King's falling position and shot out his strongest move.
Asterisk boom. Asterisk.
All its dragon scales were instantly shattered, revealing a mass of bloody flesh underneath, so severe that the bones were visible. Seeing the Ice Dragon King's rapidly decreasing health, Lin Xiao immediately summoned the Death Knight. Instant strike. Lin Xiao quickly issued the command. The Death Knight immediately activated the effect of the Hanike mask, instantly vanishing from the spot. When it reappeared, it was already in front of the Ice Dragon King. Dead King Ripple. The talent effect immediately activated, instantly taking away the Ice Dragon King's remaining health. Congratulations, you have successfully killed the Ice Dragon King, boss. EXP plus 500,000. Acquired. Ice Dragon King Treasure Chest *2. Ice Dragon Crystal *5. Ice Dragon Claw *10. Talent Blood Frenzy triggered. Talent Soul Siphon triggered. Strength Plus. After the original Death Siphon was upgraded to Soul Siphon, killing an enemy grants a 60% attribute boost. It wasn't that he wanted to steal the kill, but the Death Knight needed the Ice Dragon King's attribute boost, as he still didn't know how powerful the Ice and Snow Queen was. The crowd didn't care that Lin Xiao stole the kill on the Ice Dragon King, because they saw the Ice and Snow Queen's scepter already hanging above their heads. The gem at the center of the scepter resembled a cold blue moon, radiating chilling majesty. Chapter 229. Holy Night. The chilling might, like sharp ice picks, pierced straight into the bones and marrow of Long Zhe and the others, as if intending to freeze their blood solid. Under the assault of this extreme chill, the star road laid out by Yen Anning was not spared. It was instantly covered in a layer of frost, followed by a crisp crack, shattering like a broken mirror. Long Zhe and the others, who had been standing on the star road, found the ground vanish beneath them and fell downward, completely unprepared. Long Zhe's expression drastically changed, and he tried to adjust his posture during the rapid descent. But his limbs were frozen stiff and immobile, preventing him from making any effective movements. He could only watch helplessly as the magic array emitting a ghostly blue light gradually took shape above. Chao Xingxiu widened his eyes and cried out in terror. "This is bad! It's the Ice and Snow Queen's forbidden curse magic. Frozen Void's Hell Ice Storm. Get out of the way! A forbidden curse, powerful and wide-ranging." At this moment, they were in this vast, empty palace with nothing around to hide behind. They were told to dodge, but there was nowhere to go. "Oh, son, I heed your revelation and implore you to cast down divine punishment to help me eradicate this wicked enemy before me." Chun Shouyang muttered incantations, gazing at the sun in the sky, transmitting his belief. The sun, hanging high in the sky, seemed to hear his prayer, instantly erupting in dazzling, brilliant light that surged outward. Wherever it reached, the terrifying coldness was somewhat dispelled. Subsequently, the sun's light coalesced and transformed into a massive holy light hammer, which crashed down heavily right in front of Chan Choyang. An indentation was smashed into the ground, and dust flew up. Chan Choyang's face was filled with piety as he walked forward, stretched out his hand, and firmly grasped the golden long handle. In an instant, the holy light hammer seemed to be infused with vibrant life, its light blazing fiercely, the dazzling brilliance making it almost impossible to open one's eyes. Chan Choyang raised his head, his gaze burning like a torch, fixed on the scepter in the ice and snow queen's hand above. The gem at the scepter's tip, which resembled a blue moon, was now dimmed by the radiance of the holy light hammer. Witnessing this scene, Lin Xiao couldn't help but complain. What the heck? He's still a healer, Dad? He feels more like a warrior. Do all priests have the heart of a warrior? He thought of Lin Xiao. Relying on her dewdrop talent, she could convert healing power into offense. Now, this healer dad in front of him was actually swinging a hammer. Clearly, he wasn't a proper healer. So, the reason Chan Choyang hasn't used many healing methods or protective skills is because he went off to learn damage-dealing skills. Just as Lin Xiao was thinking this, Chan Choyang made his move. Chan Choyang suddenly exerted force with his legs, leaping high like a leopard. He raised the holy light hammer high with both hands, muscles taut, exploding with all his strength, and smashed it fiercely down toward the ice and snow queen's scepter. This strike carried the heat and majesty of the sun, covering the air in holy light. Clang! A deafening crash echoed. The powerful force knocked back the ice and snow queen's scepter in the sky, and the light of the previously condensing forbidden curse instantly dimmed and ceased abruptly. Without the influence of the cold air, Long Zhe and the others finally regained their ability to move and quickly landed on the ground. Before they could catch their breath, fierce cold air surged toward them once more. Immediately after, a series of crisp, click-clack sounds came from the direction of the throne. Each sound seemed to strike the heart of everyone present, and an invisible yet immense aura spread unrestrainedly, full of oppressive force. The Ice and Snow Queen made her move. Everyone's nerves tightened, and they stared vigilantly ahead. Just then, Wu Hanyang moved swiftly, instantly drawing his bow and notching an arrow, firing a shot fiercely. The sharp arrow, wrapped like a meteor, shot toward the throne. But before it could get close, the surrounding air instantly froze. The meteor arrow was frozen into a frost prism in the blink of an eye, losing all its power. At the same time, the starry sky shone again, and countless stars whistled down from the heavens, smashing toward the Ice and Snow Queen, kicking up clouds of dust. A streak of cold light flashed through the dust. The distant scepter flew over like lightning, instantly dispersing the dense dust and fog. When the dust settled, the Ice and Snow Queen's tall and stunningly cold figure was already standing firmly before everyone. She wore an ice-blue robe, its hem fluttering in the cold wind. Her ice-blue hair danced wildly, and her eyes shimmered with cold, ghostly light, as if everything in the world was as insignificant as an ant in her sight. She stood there quietly, yet exuded a terrifying majesty, as if she could turn everything before her into dust with a slight lift of her hand. The Ice and Snow Queen looked down upon everyone like an emperor and slowly spoke. "Since you choose death, then I shall grant you death. As soon as she finished speaking, the Ice and Snow Queen's scepter immediately emitted a blue light that shot straight into the sky, blasting a huge hole in the void above. Next, a wave of coldness spread from the sky, and blue liquid poured down. It's a waterfall. It's the ice waterfall divine art. Damn it! Starting off with a forbidden curse? Is that how you play? Lin Xiao, who was responsible for standing at the front, was so angry he nearly cursed. Even he couldn't withstand 2 forbidden curses. "Oh time, your premature arrival troubles us. Please return to that moment in the past." Shenlu raised her staff high. Faintly visible within the waterfall, the clock of time was rapidly reversing. Subsequently, everyone saw the waterfall flow backward, the light receding, returning into the scepter. It was as if the forbidden curse had never been used. The power of time. The Ice and Snow Queen glanced at Shenlu, who felt as if her entire body was about to freeze, and dared not meet her gaze. Pity, it's only a superficial understanding. The scepter was activated again. At this moment, Chuchoe pointed her staff at the Ice and Snow Queen and shouted, "Skill! Death!" The scepter, which was preparing to cast the ice waterfall divine art again, suddenly cooled down. Interesting. A very peculiar skill seal. The Ice and Snow Queen felt as though her skill had died. Yes, it had died. It was different from a typical sealing skill silence. This skill was unusable, at least not right now. As the Ice and Snow Queen's attention fell upon Chuchoe, 4 figures appeared around her. Evil Ghost, Blood Sword, Silver Light, Blue Fist. The 4 attacks appeared almost simultaneously, cutting off any possibility of her escape. The Ice and Snow Queen raised an eyebrow, and ice blue light spots appeared around her body. The next second, with a boom, ice shards scattered everywhere. She stood perfectly still and unharmed. Only Feng Ping and the 4 others were nowhere to be seen. Just then, a scorching aura nearby caught her attention. She looked over and saw Long Zhe's entire body engulfed in flames. She spoke coldly, devoid of emotion. "Did they stall for time for you? You are not a qualified leader, treating the lives of others as nothing." Chapter 230. The flames were contained, scorching Long Zhe's body black, his eyes glowing with fire, like a war god. "I cherish my companions' lives more than you do. They won't die." Long Zhe spoke, his voice low, hot breath escaping his lips. Without further explanation, he attacked the Ice and Snow Queen, leaving scorching marks on the ground with every step. The flames suddenly converged, tightly coiling around and ravaging Long Zhe's body. His skin was scorched black, and the clusters of flames in his eyes grew even hotter and more dazzling, like 2 burning suns, exuding a chilling aura, as if a war god had emerged from the smoke of battle. "My cherish for my companions' lives far exceeds your imagination. They won't die." Long Zhe spoke slowly, his voice deep and heavy, hot air gushing from his mouth. He didn't waste words explaining. In an instant, Long Zhe shot towards the Ice and Snow Queen like a launched cannonball. With each step, he left deep, smoking, charred footprints on the ground. An awakening? Blazing steps. The Ice and Snow Queen recognized the skill Long Zhe was using at a glance, but her expression remained calm, devoid of any emotion. She slowly raised the scepter in her hand, and in an instant, a brilliant blue light surged forth like a tide, emanating a chilling coldness. "Sealing just one forbidden curse of mine is far from enough." Her voice was like a winter gale, cold and filled with disdain. No sooner had she spoken than the surrounding weather abruptly changed. A fierce storm rose from the ground, the wind howling like countless malevolent spirits roaring. The moisture in the air rapidly condensed into sharp ice shards, swirling wildly in the gale. This was the terrifying omen of the forbidden curse, frozen fissure of the void. Infernal ice gale about to descend. You won't get a second chance to cast a forbidden curse. Long Zhe's eyes blazed like torches. As his voice fell, he flickered like a ghost, using instant step to instantly cross the distance and appear before the ice and snow queen. He raised his right fist high, his fist wrapped in fiercely burning, scorching flames. The air twisted and deformed under the high temperature. With a roar, he unleashed this punch, imbued with immense power. The fist wind howled like a burning meteor, striking towards the ice and snow queen with destructive force. Under this scorching impact, the surrounding cold air instantly evaporated, turning into billowing hot gas that permeated the entire space, like a churning sea of clouds. The ice and snow queen reacted extremely quickly, her beautiful eyes narrowing, her delicate body retreating rapidly like a swallow. However, just as she retreated, a dark figure abruptly appeared behind her. It was Lin Xiao's Death Knight. The Death Knight's spear gleamed with a chilling light as he fiercely thrust it towards the ice and snow queen. While attacking, Death Ripple immediately activated, draining a huge amount of the ice and snow queen's health. Facing a pincer attack, the ice and snow queen remained calm and decisive. In an instant, she quickly made a judgment, gathering the surrounding ice power into her right palm and fiercely striking forward with all her might, meeting Long Zhe's powerful incoming punch. Bang! With a loud bang, fist and palm met, and the collision of powerful forces instantly vibrated and distorted the air. At the same time, the ice and snow queen's scepter, in sync with her will, instantly released an ice barrier radiating a faint blue light. No sooner had the barrier formed than the Death Knight's thrusting spear struck it fiercely. The chilling spearhead collided with the ice barrier, scattering ice shards and emitting a piercing sizzle sound. However, just as the ice and snow queen was fully focused on dealing with the enemies in front and behind her, a wisp of golden flame flashed in her peripheral vision. Sensing danger, a hint of vigilance flashed in her eyes. Almost simultaneously, her body instinctively reacted, dodging swiftly to one side. Boom! A deafening explosion resounded, and towering flames surged forth with overwhelming force, instantly engulfing everything around them. The previously hard ice blocks, under this terrifying high temperature, rapidly melted like snow in the sun, turning into puddles of cold water. The strongest fire type forbidden curse. The ice and snow queen's gaze was solemn as she looked in Lin Xiao's direction. Then her gaze slowly moved, finally landing on the seemingly inconspicuous slime beside Lin Xiao. It can cast a forbidden curse? Despite her confusion, there was no time for the ice and snow queen to ponder. Long Zhe spun around, using the powerful muscles in his legs to gather all his strength into his right foot, and fiercely kicked towards the ice and snow queen. His body whistled through the air, and wherever he passed, the surrounding cold air was instantly evaporated, demonstrating the terrifying power of this kick. Bang! The kick landed squarely on the ice and snow queen, emitting a dull yet shocking sound. The ice and snow queen's body slammed heavily into the base of the throne, sending ice shards flying and dust swirling, the entire space trembling from the impact. The next second, a large number of sharp ice cones shot out from the dust like a torrential rain of pear blossom needles, each cone gleaming with a cold light, carrying a deadly threat. Long Zhe, seeing this, reacted quickly and shifted sideways, dodging this fierce volley of ice cones. The Ice and Snow Queen gracefully flew up from the ice dust, her hair fluttering in the wind, her icy blue robe flapping loudly. There wasn't a trace of injury on her body. She still maintained her majestic and sacred posture, looking down at the crowd below. Ice storm. The Ice and Snow Queen's red lips parted slightly. A biting cold wind raged through the entire space, carrying ice shards that cut through everything around them like sharp blades. Holy light, banish darkness and cold. Chun Choyang's eyes widened in anger, his aura suddenly surging. He fiercely threw the holy light hammer in his hand towards the ice storm. The ice storm instantly swallowed the holy light hammer. The next second, a dazzling light suddenly erupted from the center of the storm, and in just an instant, it completely dispelled the raging ice storm. The Ice and Snow Queen looked down at the people below, her jade brows slightly furrowed. She realized that this group of people was not simple. Get down here! Long Zhe's voice was like thunder, each word seemingly imbued with immense power as it heavily escaped his teeth. His aura surged violently, like a raging volcano about to erupt. Blazing flames ignited on his fist, rapidly condensing and swirling, actually transforming into a lifelike flame dragon. Blazing dragon. The blazing dragon roared to the sky, its body wreathed in surging flames, emitting such high temperatures that the air twisted and deformed. Long Zhe fiercely threw a punch, and the blazing dragon, following his fist, shot towards the Ice and Snow Queen in the sky like an arrow released from a bowstring. Wherever it passed, the space seemed to be scorched with a blazing crack. The Ice and Snow Queen was actually knocked down. Chapter 231. The Ice and Snow Queen was slightly disheveled at this moment, her figure not yet stable, when the Death Knight, like a ghost, closed in on her. The talent Death Ripple was triggered again, and the deep dark spear fiercely stabbed towards her with the force of lightning. The power of death. You, Beast Tamer, are extraordinary. The Ice and Snow Queen seemed to ignore the Death Knight's fierce attack, her gaze passing directly over him and locking onto Lin Xiao. Bang! The scepter reappeared like a phantom, precisely blocking the Death Knight's fatal blow. The next second upon contact, a dazzling blue light burst forth, instantly freezing the Death Knight. Immediately after, with a muffled thud, the frozen Death Knight instantly shattered into ice shards. Talent, Dark Kin, triggered. Undead Warhorse replaces Death. The Death Knight seized the opportunity to retreat rapidly, his gaze hidden beneath his mask filled with unprecedented solemnity. The Ice and Snow Queen slowly raised her right hand, her 5 fingers gradually spreading like petals, and an ice lotus emitting a chilling blue light gently floated out from her palm. On the ice lotus, tiny ice crystals shimmered, each petal exquisitely carved, exuding a terrifyingly cold aura. Her gaze locked onto Long Zhe, and her voice, devoid of emotion, rang out. You are strong, but how long can your blazing steps last? Enough to kill you. Long Zhe's eyes were wide open, his gaze like a torch. Unfortunately, it won't be. The Ice and Snow Queen shook her head. Bloom, and become an ice sculpture here. As her voice fell, the ice lotus rapidly unfurled at a speed imperceptible to the naked eye. As each petal extended, It released delicate, spiderweb-like ice patterns that spread wildly in all directions. The surrounding air turned into a vast expanse of white frost, surging towards Long Zhe from the center of the ice lotus. Seeing this, Long Zhe's internal power began to boil, and his body emitted a dull, thump-thump rumble, like war drums beating. The flames within him burned even more fiercely, raging fire seeping out from the pores all over his body, attempting to resist the overwhelming icy power that swept towards him. Chao Xingxiu raised his shield to block, but as soon as he touched the frost, his body immediately froze, becoming an ice sculpture. The frost continued to spread. Chan Qiuyang, Wu Xiang, Xin Lu, and Chu Qiuyue showed troubled expressions, as they had no means to resist the terrifying spread of the frost. Slow! Xin Lu pointed her staff forward, and the speed of the frost spread slowed significantly. This was only temporary. The frost would eventually cover her. You're a paladin, don't you have a way? Chu Qiuyue asked. She had expended a great deal of energy to seal the Ice and Snow Queen's forbidden curse, and no longer had the ability to stop the frost spread. Chun Chuyang gritted his teeth. There's nothing I can do. If it were just damage-type skills, I could manage, but this cold energy is not simple. At this moment, he noticed Lin Xiao, finding him standing still as if nothing was happening, even when the frost covered him. Lin Xiao, do you have a way to resist the frost? Chun Chuyang asked eagerly, as if he had seen hope. Yes, Lin Xiao said directly. It was the effect of the evil dragon scale leggings, which allowed him to absorb elemental damage and become immune to any damage caused by that element. The equipment effect of the leggings had hardly been used since he obtained it, but now, facing the Ice and Snow Queen, he had to use it. Lin Xiao continued, but I can't save you. If you really can't resist, just die without worry. I can revive you later. Although his words were inauspicious, it was the truth. Suddenly, Lin Xiao remembered something and looked at Chun Choyang, saying, You don't seem to have bought insurance. Do you want to buy it now? Chun Choyang, if I really die and you revive me, I will pay the fee. He felt he could hold on a bit longer and wouldn't die. All right. Lin Xiao didn't mind. He only had 5 revivals, and with Xin Lu's cooperation, it could reach 10, which was just enough. He didn't need it, Long Zhe didn't need it, and Yan Anning didn't need it either. She was no longer visible here, seemingly having hidden in the star domain. This skill was truly convenient. No wonder she said she couldn't die. Lin Xiao looked at Long Zhe, who was struggling to hold on in front, and with a thought, summoned Xiao Jing. In an instant, a rhomboid crystal appeared out of thin air, slowly floating in midair, exuding a mysterious and unfathomable aura. The power of the totem is extremely similar to the power of class awakening. Perhaps it can extend the duration of Long Zhe's skill. Lin Xiao immediately had Xiao Jing release the skill it had recently stolen. Power of the totem. Xiao Jing slowly sank into the ground, a dazzling light blooming around it, and a strange power spread rapidly from Xiao Jing to the surrounding people. Long Zhe suddenly felt a surge of heat rush from the soles of his feet straight to the crown of his head. His body trembled violently, and his nearly exhausted and extinguished power, as if injected with fuel, caused the flames within him to burn anew, continuously providing him with strength. Long Zhe was filled with shock, and he hurriedly turned to look at Lin Xiao not far away, his eyes full of disbelief. While Lin Xiao was helping Long Zhe, A strange situation also unfolded for Chan Shoyang. At first, Chan Shoyang's eyes were filled with confusion and bewilderment, unable to believe that the system prompt he heard was real, thinking he was hallucinating. But after seeing the added skill, he confirmed that he wasn't hallucinating. The prompt was real. Holy light, bless me. Chan Shoyang let out a long cry to the sky, his voice filled with uncontrollable excitement. In an instant, as if a mysterious and powerful force was activated. Brilliant, dazzling light, that rich holy light, wildly spread out from Chan Shoyang. A pair of huge wings, radiating divine glory, unfurled from his back with a bang, bestowing upon him extraordinary power and majesty. Affected by the power of the totem, temporarily activate Class Awakening skill. Due to your low level, Class Awakening skill cannot be activated. 1 second, Lin Xiao was excited, able to use an awakening skill. The next second, his face turned bitter. Cannot use it due to low level? Is that even possible? The Ice and Snow Queen noticed Long Zhe's situation and Chan Shoyang, who had suddenly activated his awakening. The power of the totem. Her gaze sharpened as she looked at Lin Xiao and the strange crystal beside him. Your beast is not simple. It can even steal my clan's totem power, and you even have the ability to resist frost. I cannot let you live. The Ice and Snow Queen immediately shifted her attack target. Even though she had initially looked down on Lin Xiao, his repeated obstructions and his peculiar beast had forced her to develop a killing intent. If you want to kill him, you'll have to get past me first. Long Zhe roared, cracks appearing on his body, and blood flowing like lava. And me! Chan Shoyang's expression was unusually excited. This was his first time experiencing the power of an awakening skill, and he was already eager to try it.